Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel, and hi to all of my new subscribers. Today I am going to be filming a 3-month update of my daughter, and this is actually the perfect time to film this video because everybody in my apartment is sleeping right now. My brother, my boyfriend, and my daughter is sleeping, so unfortunately she won't be in this video. Before I get started with her 3-month update, I'm just gonna let you guys know that I will be inserting little clips throughout this whole entire video, so you will still get to see her, but just not physically with me right now. And before I get started, I want you guys to go down in the description box or click the card above here. I am going to insert my labor story and my introduction to my daughter. I actually filmed that video a while back in the beginning, probably when she was first born, and I wanted to introduce you guys to her, so I'm going to link that down below and in the card for you guys to go check it out, go watch it. She does something at the end of the video which is pretty hilarious, so go check that out. But let's get started with my 3-month update of my daughter. I wanted to start and talk to you guys about her weight gain, and I know that's such a weird thing to start to update you guys on my daughter. Basically, she was born at 6 pounds 9 ounces, and as of 3 months she is 17 pounds and I believe 4 ounces or something like that, give or take. We actually went to the doctor's about 2 days after she turned 3 months old. The doctor weighed her, and yeah, she is a very big baby, and I've done a lot of research, and apparently the average of a girl baby is supposed to be about 14.5 to like 15 pounds, and the average for a male is like 16 plus whatever. But she's a very big baby, and yeah, she's super cute, and I just love her so freaking much. Obviously she's my daughter, I have to love her. I can't stop staring at her and kissing her and like squeezing her little thighs and her little cheeks, and oh my gosh, she has so much chunk on her chunks on her arms and the chunks on her legs, and her little toes and her little fingers is just the cutest thing ever. Moving on to her schedule, feeding schedule and her sleeping schedule all in one. Basically in the beginning she had a very weird schedule, and it was just really rough for me because it was literally all over the place. It's like you have your own schedule where you sleep when you want and you sleep however long you want, and then you have this baby and now you have to follow this baby's schedule, and it's just really all over the place. And in the beginning her schedule was chaos. It was like I didn't get any sleep, I didn't have time to do anything for myself unless she was sleeping, and sometimes she wouldn't fully sleep straight for a good like 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes it would be like chopped up in, you know, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. She'll wake up and then she'll sleep again, so it was just so crazy. But now her schedule is pretty consistent as of now. Her schedule, she wakes up pretty early. Right now it's actually really early, but she wakes up pretty early and she'll feed every 2 to 3 hours on average, but sometimes she would feed about 2 to 5 hours during the daytime. Now that she's 3 months, she's actually sleeping through the night, so it's amazing. She takes longer naps now, but she's also awake longer as well during the night. She has a very good schedule. Normally she would feed on average around 9:30, 10:30, sometimes 11:30, but not usually. And then she would wake up around 4:30 to 7:30, between those times. So she would get a good about 6.5 to 7, sometimes 8 hours if she stretches it that long. I feel like that is a really good schedule for her because she wakes up early, which I want her to, because I didn't really have that discipline. I hated waking up early, so if she starts waking up early at a young age, she would get used to it. You know, when you don't have enough sleep, you are really cranky, and I know that from my personal experience. So she wakes up early, and then she'll just take her midday nap, and she'll wake up again, and then she'll take her afternoon nap, and then yeah, she'll be up and she'll just take consistent naps throughout the day. But during the night is when she has a full-on like 7 hour to 8 hour sleep, which is amazing for me, but also for her as well. With her feeding, it's also the same. When she's awake, obviously she feeds, and then when she's sleeping, she's sleeping. I am currently not breastfeeding only because I started breastfeeding in the beginning and I started pumping and my supply was very low, so it kind of put a strain on myself mentally and physically. I just couldn't really put myself through that, trying to force myself to breastfeed her when I have nothing in my breast. I mean, I do have milk, but not enough to supply her and feed her enough. I supplemented with formula and then I just didn't really produce that much anymore, so then I stopped and my breast milk just stopped altogether, and then I decided to just keep doing formula because that is the best choice for me and my daughter based on my circumstances. I know there are a lot of remedies out there and a lot of things you can take and do to help your milk supply, but honestly it didn't really work. I tried, I really tried, but it did not work for me. The first week I had so much milk, and then after that it just kind of plummeted down the drain. The next thing I wanted to talk about actually relates to feeding, but also relates to her going to the bathroom as well. There is an app that I use. It's called the Baby Tracker app, and I will link it down below for you guys. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. If you guys hear noises, don't worry, it's the bathroom, the tubes and the drains making all that type of noise, so ignore that. There is an app that I use. It's called the Baby Tracker app. I love this app so much, and as a first-time mom I think it is an essential for me personally because it actually keeps track of how much I feed my daughter, when she fed, and how many times a day she poops and pees, and if she poos or pees at all. She does poo about 2 to 3 times a day, and she pees every single time she drinks her milk. So she has no problem in that area, but the Baby Tracker really helps me. I think this is a very useful app, not just for first-time moms, but even if you are not a first-time mom, it works really well and it's so easy to use and it's so straightforward, and it just helps you out when you need to keep track of what's going on with your baby. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was her sleeping situation. So currently I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, but there are 5 people in this apartment and I am actually planning on moving out soon, so another day for that topic. But we are actually co-sleeping. She sleeps in her crib, not a bassinet, and she never slept in a bassinet whatsoever, only because we were co-sleeping and she is really close. The crib is at the end of my bed. It's not too far for me to get up in the middle of the night to feed her if I need to, and she didn't have any problem sleeping in the crib. I swaddled her in the beginning. I think the first month I swaddled her, and then we stopped swaddling her, and she still has no problem with that. So I don't think that's really concerning. I know a lot of moms swear by swaddling because it really helps their baby, but my baby kept getting out of her swaddle and it just wasn't working. Maybe it'll work for my future babies, but for her it really didn't work. She's a very strong baby. She kicks and pulls and she just goes crazy, and the swaddles just really did not help. And I used like a muslin swaddle, so I had to swaddle her myself, assuming that I'm not doing it properly. But after that I just called it quits, and I didn't even plan on buying any of the already made swaddles because I didn't really think about it. Plus I was a first-time mom. Nobody really gave me advice about, you know, buying that already made swaddle to help her. Now that she's 3 months, there's really no point, so I was like, okay, goodbye swaddle. That's never happening again. Sometimes she takes a nap with me in my bed, but other than that she does sleep in her crib. So moving on to milestones, she has loads and loads of milestones. Currently she is holding her head up. She is a little bit shaky, but she is holding her head up so well, and I'm so happy because I really want her to sit up on her own, and she will be doing that soon, and I'm just so excited for that stage where she can sit up and crawl and all that stuff. But she isn't sitting up on her own yet, just holding her head up. And also she is doing tummy time, and she is doing 5 minutes straight without fussing. And when I first started doing it, she would do the 4 minutes, and then in the last minute she would cry like crazy, and I would obviously stop and take her off. But Now she can do 5 minutes straight of tummy time and no fuss whatsoever. Like I mentioned before, she is also sleeping through the night, so that is a huge milestone for both of us. And also she's babbling and cooing and she's talking so much, and she's smiling every time I talk to her and laugh and read her books and all that stuff. She's just laughing and smiling, and it's so crazy because you can really start seeing like their personality grow when you notice it. And just being with her, around her all the time, I really see that she's growing so much. And it's just so crazy how one person, one baby who couldn't do anything, couldn't say nothing, starts doing all of this stuff, and it's like they will never remember it, but I will. And I just love it so freaking much. But she has also discovered her hands. She loves sticking her fists inside her mouth, and she's drooling quite a lot, but she's not teething yet. The next thing I wanted to talk about is her activity and stimulation. So there are a lot of things that she does and that I do to help stimulate her mind. First things first is books. I like reading to her. I talk to her a lot. I laugh with her. I play music for her, and my boyfriend also plays music for her, and then we're always smiling and laughing, and we have like big conversations with her. Even though she doesn't understand, she does laugh with us and she smiles with us, and we always tickle her. And we also have a swing and a bouncer. They both have a mobile, but the mobile that she likes the best is her swing mobile, because I guess the colors, she can see it. So it's just 3 stars and it's like a greenish color, so she always stares at it when we put her in the swing. And the swing is automatic, so it just goes back and forth, back and forth. She doesn't really like her bouncer as much, but she does like it when she's not strapped in. And I know you're supposed to strap your baby in, but whenever I use the bouncer, I actually use it only when it's right next to me. I have to put her like right next to me, so you know she's not going nowhere. But she doesn't really like the straps on the bouncer, but she does like sitting in it, and she usually falls asleep in it as well. Also, I will play the television for her to listen, and sometimes she actually watches the movements just because the television has like lights, and she is so attracted to lights. Sometimes when we go to the restaurant, she'll be staring up at the ceiling because of the lights. Even in our living room, she will stare at the lamp and she'll stare at the TV. And also she loves car rides. She will fall asleep instantly in the car. And she also has a lovey. It's a Minnie Mouse lovey, and I actually put that in my thrift store haul, so if you want to watch that, I will link that down below and also in the card above for you guys to watch. I bought her a lovey from the thrift store that I've been dying to buy at the regular store, but the thrift store had it on sale for the cheapest price in the whole freaking world. She likes that too. She grabs it and hugs it, and sometimes she eats the ears. So moving on to her bath and diapering situation, and also what binkies we use and what bottles we currently use. In the beginning, we used the regular Tommy Tippy bottles, and it was kind of an issue only because Madeline is colic and she swallows a lot of air, so it caused a lot of stomach aches and problems for her. So we had to switch to an anti-colic Tommy Tippy bottle. Currently, she's actually using the regular bottles now because her colic is going away and she doesn't swallow air anymore, so the bottles are working so well. I still use the anti-colic bottles, but I also use the regular Tommy Tippy bottles as well. We also use the Philips Avent anti-colic bottle, and we have one bottle which is by Twist Shake. It is also anti-colic as well, and I will link them down below for you guys if you want to check them out on Amazon or on Toys R Us. You can probably buy them at like Walmart or something too, and probably Target. And the binkies that we are using for her are the Tommy Tippy binkies, and we actually just started using that from the beginning. And I tried giving her different binkies just to see if she would take them, but she does not take any other binkies except for the Tommy Tippy. I believe they are orthodontic. And as for her diapering situation, we used a lot of diapers. We tried so many different brands, but the one brand and one type of diaper that we love the best, both my boyfriend and I, is this one right here. I'll show you guys. It's this one right here. This is the Huggies Little Snugglers, and I like this because she does not have any leaky diapers. okay? And that is the #1 thing that we love about these ones, because they don't leak whatsoever unless you don't change your baby's diaper for like 10 hours, but we never do that. And this one also fits her very well. It conforms to her butt and around her thighs, and we've tried the other brand of Huggies, I believe it's called Snug and Dry. They were too stiff. And then we tried Pampers ones. They were made way smaller than this, and also they were too tight, and I believe she leaked a lot, and they were about too thin for her. So these are just right in the middle. They're not too thick, but they're not too thin, and they work so well for her. Also, we are using Huggies wipes as well. We are using the Natural Care Huggies wipes, but we also use these ones here. I will show you guys. These ones are the Pampers Complete Clean. These are the Baby Fresh scent, but we also use a no scent wipes as well, and she has no irritation whatsoever. As for her bath routine, we bathe her twice a day. Sometimes we only bathe her once a day, and we are currently using the Aveeno body wash and shampoo 2-in-1. Madeline actually has eczema, so we use baby oil for her as well. Before we went to the doctors to check her eczema, we actually used the Johnson & Johnson bedtime lotion, and we used baby powder, but I stopped using those two, and I only put baby oil just to help her eczema and her dry skin. Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the difficulties that we've had with her so far. And like I mentioned, she's actually getting stronger in the neck, but we had a situation where she had a crooked neck, and the pediatrician said some huge term that I really don't remember, but apparently the part of her muscle on one side of her neck was not strong, and she was just leaning her head like this, and the whole entire time we would sit her up and we would hold her, she would just lean her head, and she would not try to lean her head to the other side. Even when we would stand on each side, if I stand on one side and my boyfriend stands on the other side, she would look with her eyes, but she won't turn her head. So we had that situation, but it's actually slowly going away, so I'm very happy about that. My pediatrician didn't really say much about it. He said it was normal and is very common, and it will go away on its own, but just massage the side that is weak. And I believe that is it for my update. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for daily vlogs and also mommy, parenthood, lifestyle videos. I will link down related videos below for you guys to check it out, and all the links of the things that I've mentioned in this video. Don't forget to check out my previous video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. And the next update is going to be her 6-month update, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.